Good day to you all, and nice that you will join me on this one. This is good old Willy. It's Wilderness, aka Willy for short, and it's a really nice map, one of my favorites. And it's especially nice for clowning around, playing some different strategies, testing out some new stuff. And in the past this was an original map added on the original game, but it needed some perfection because this lock 4, although it was nice to play, it was so bad compared to other locations. It was not even funny. It was actually so bad that in that days we played random, talking about 5-6 years ago, something like that. The people, if they ended up on this location, they just quit because they know they could not handle it. It was really hard to give it to have good peace among us here. This location was the big problem because it was so hard to defend. This lake, for instance, here was not that wide, so people could attack in the middle of this lake and this hill. I made it a little wider, easier to defend. Still not that easy. Another problem on this location is the stone, which is only here on the left side. And your serfs need to bring all the stone from that location to where you will build your base, and most buildings I think are in this area. All the coal mines, all your iron production, usually people set up it here and then farms in this area, and that's a nice thing, that you have a lot of space on this location. You don't have it for instance on this location. And in original you had very few trees. It was almost unplayable. So I fixed that some 5-6 years ago, and but still considered to be the most difficult location on this map. That's why if you let people choose a side on this map, they usually pick the north side, and it happened in this game as well. So I played here with Seam on the south side of this map. I picked location 1 because Seam wanted to try in this location, which, as you can see, is an update over the other version I made from Wilderness. I made a snowy version. I released it for Christmas 2016, I believe, where I changed all the desert into snow. So nothing has been changed really, except for this stone. I set up some stone here on this side, so the efficiency of this location will go up big time, because you can place your stonemasons in this area. And there used to be an iron mountain, so I moved it to over here. Gold is still far away, so it's not an easy lock to play on, but we'll see what happens. And this game was nice because, like I said, we were a bit like clowning around here. Seam was trying something with very early iron, and I believe he doesn't get any leather in this game at all. So let's see how much iron he can produce in 60 minutes. I play here on location 1. I do go for leather, but I will try to make a small base and focused on iron as well. And another reason I want to show you this particular game we played, like I believe some days to a week ago, is we have some newer players which you haven't seen in shoutcast from me before. And I think at this moment from the two, this is the better player. He's also playing in the league, has many wins. His name is Apia, and he's from the Netherlands. He is in the RA clan for some reason. And he's playing on this location. It's one of the most picked locations on this map because it's fairly easy to defend here. To camp, I can say. If it wasn't for this gap here on the side of the screen, it would be probably, if there was a really good player on this location playing, it was maybe impossible to defeat this player. This is Apiap, like I said, he's playing very decent. His focus is, what I've seen of him in several games, focus is always on big iron, but he will try to make a nice leather base as well. So it reminds me a bit of how Raging Bullet or Max T plays. It's really nice. The other player in his team is Mr. Black Pearl. He's also in the RA clan, also from my country. We play with 4 people from the Netherlands in this game. Although officially Seam is, I wouldn't say stateless, but he has double identity. He lives at the border with Belgium. He lives in Belgium and in the Netherlands. It's not really clear. And that's also maybe why he chose this nickname. And if I pronounce it right, it's up to Seam to decide. It is Chevalier, and that just means knight, and it's a French word. I don't know any French. I had it for 1 or 2 years, but then I dropped it as soon as I could. But Seam speaks it fluently in his own words. So maybe we can test it someday on TeamSpeak. Anyway, I was by Mr. Black Pearl here up in the top left. This, of course, is, I can say, by far the best location on this map because of the space. Iron is nice, 4 iron mines, pretty close. Stone is really nice as well. And nice 2 coal fields here. Gold is relatively close, and I haven't mentioned the trees because it's, come on, it's like really, I can say, overpowered. So let's see what army this guy can make. It's 60 minutes. He will go, yeah, traditional leather, iron. Nothing fancy here, I think, but we'll see. I've set up my iron here pretty early in the game, before the 30 minutes, and I thought I was early with this iron, but Seam, who's going for iron only, was already making some iron here. Some weapons. He will go for a combination of crossbowmen and pikemen in this game, which you know are pretty easy to mess. Yeah, and you can see what a difference it makes by putting this stone here. I left this stone here only because it's also has its purpose when you defend against the enemy. But I've seen nobody on this version of the map take stone from here because it's not needed. You can see what a difference it makes if you put it up here. It's like in the center of your base, which search will work way more efficient here. And also 4 iron mines makes it possible to go for a double pikeman or crossbowman strategy. If you have only 3 iron mines, can be done of course, but then ideally you need to trade also. But if you have 4 iron mines, it works really well, even on 3 iron smelters. I go for swords because these days many people make pikemen because of the knights. Many people do some knights, some people even do double stables. It still happens. So people react to it by making pikemen, and they change their build order for it. And nowadays you see, like most of half people I play with do standard pikemen in their build, and that makes it that it's easy or it's good to go back to mass swords again. So that's what I'll try to do. At least in this particular build. It was a little late, so if we play this map, we usually clowning around a bit. I will go for the Czech style, that is setting up 2 armies quick and make swords, shields and armors, and then catch up with double swords. Many people do it, but I don't do it that much. And when they have catched up, I will change to pike or X-bows, depends on what I need. 5 farms for 3 piggies, it's always, it's a combination made for nice leather. So you see, I'll try to unlock Tannery as soon as possible. And on this location, some people think it's really hard to play here. But if you just cut the trees who are in the beginning screen when you start a game, if you just cut them and do not replant them and relocate your trees, you can do it here on top. But usually go to the south here. You can set up all your trees you need here, your woodcutters, and then it shouldn't be any problem. The nice thing about this location is that you really can keep it small. You see, if you take this line from the storehouse to the goal, then you make a line horizontally to this iron here. You put your weapon makers, etc. along the way, set up a barracks pretty close, some farms here in this area. You can also do it here. You can see I still have a lot of space at this moment. Them can be really a small base. Let's take a look at our job here. Look in the top right corner of this map. It looks decent to me. See the wood. He's blocking it. Seems to be having enough wood here. I would go for a shortcut here earlier on, but maybe he will make it later. Eight farms, 3 piggies, 1 stable. It's pretty standard gaming. You see, it's a large location, but still he uses all the space he's got. Yeah, while he has only 6 woodcutters at the moment. And most players here put up the barracks here in this spot, and it has its cons, it has its pros. The good thing about it is that you are close to the front line, so you can train your troops, and they are here where the fighting is usually going on pretty quick. But on the other hand, if you are if your village is invaded by enemy troops, sometimes enemy will push through here, but you see it's not that wide, so it's risky to push a complete attack towards this entrance, especially when you don't have enough sight here. It's usually done through here, and when they reach this this barracks, you cannot defend it properly. It's usually GG. We'll have to see how it goes in this game. You see, this guy's iron is really decent. Here we can see how Mr. Black Pearl is doing. Yeah, he will make a double row of towers, which is nice, but not really needed, because one thing I noticed is that a player from my location rarely pushes an attack on this location, or vice versa. Usually the fighting goes on in this area, and then it's either going for this player or this player, depending on who's the best. Yeah, this guy is going for a little more over 30 swords. If he can catch up with his weapons, and 40 leather, more than 10 horses, which is a nice thing. Recruits are okay, I think. No problem here. Yeah, let's take a look. He has 3 gold smelters, 4 iron smelters, 7 farms, also 3 piggies and a stable. And then yeah, I can't find really strange things in this build, but it looks decent. Towers stand on time. Abyab has almost 30 swords, and he's a little low on weapons. but also 11 horses, a little more recruits. I have seen this guy played a little bit better, but he will probably go for a spam base. So maybe in 5 minutes it's all catched up. And then you see it's usually the problem that the player on this location doesn't have a tower up here at 60 minutes, so we will need to defend it with some he has some knights, so we can be there pretty quick. That's no problem. I had a nice game on this location as well because of the efficiency. I made one butcher on 3 big farms, but I know it's like a little too less for late game. I have 75 serfs, so I made 2 vineyards along with it. You see that it's been done by a lot of Russian players. If you ever noticed, they will rarely make bakeries, just do sausage and wine. It's a really good combination. I have 3 gold smelters myself, 26 swords, 37 leathers, and 15 pikemen, and also some lances. Now let's see what Chevalier has got here. As you can see, he went for iron only, so he has 77 iron armors along with 36 pikes and 35 crossbows. It's pretty nice for this location, especially if he has he can make also more than 40 militias along with it. A lot of recruits. But you know, like it's a big coal field, but if this will be a really long game, then probably spam factor is lost from this build, of course. But let's continue. You see, he's so fast on the battlefield with his scouts. It's really important to have good vision on the map, so you can see what your enemy has. But look at this guy, he's scouting with 3 groups of knights. You see, in only 1 minute after peacetime, he already scouted almost everything towards me. Seems doing some scouting with pikemen, you rarely see it. Yeah, my scouting was not that strong in the game, because I had my barracks all the way up here. The first thing I recruited were 2 lance carriers, but I needed to go through this base up here. And yeah, I will split them and send one up here in the north and one to go horizontally here on this part of the Scrout. To the right side to see where Black Pearl's army is at the moment. Because I cannot see where his troops are right now. one thing that is yeah, overlooked, you can say, it's at least it's really important on this map, is that it's really important to stay together. And I remember that that Seam was a bit afraid about the knights that Apyap had standing here, because maybe he had only one tower, could have gone in through here. So he needed to split his troops. Yeah, we have a lot of pikemen standing here. They have both, I don't know, 15 horse each. And we have way more iron than they have, so it's good, better for them just to take position and not attack. You usually see, and I think it's the best thing to do, that the player on location 3 will set up his troops here. I know space is not optimal here, but it's the best thing you can do. Yeah, so you can see that, you know, it's like a stalemate position here. It usually happens on wilderness, when you stand in this spot, that, yeah, what will you do? Because you know that if you are the attacker and you go in here, you really need to have loads of more troops, because you will lose a lot in the progress of engaging the enemy here. It's not that wide, this entrance. But you can also split some troops through here, and Seam said something like, we do have a lot of more troops anyways. We was clowning around and sending some troops to this area here. And Apyap needs to split his troops. And then it's a good moment to go in here in the center. But you see, I struggle to put my melee in front of the bows. You cannot put your bows or X-bows too far behind, because then you will just get shot at and it's gone. This attack went so poor because of all the useless militia and not much pikes in it, so Seam lost here big time. But that was actually the thing that made this game nice. It was not overpowered at all. I kind of felt in this attack it was really heavy for me. It didn't felt easy at all. Yeah, you see, Apyap has a low amount of troops in this area, but he will send troops he had here back to this entrance. You see that Blackwell need to retreat at this moment, but then just in time his teammate came up with the remains of the troops he had from the battle he had on the right side. But we could not chase Black Pearl down, really. And although it's we had a lot of fight, both me and Sim, but still it's really annoying to play versus enemy who has some horses nearby. You always need to have some pikes near your bows. So in that way, it's never a bad thing to go for horses, even if your enemy is made pikeman. So you see, it was really tight here, and then Abyab comes out of his base. But luckily, and it's also a thing that makes this game really nice, that all four of us had pretty good spam. Yeah, no problem. No screw ups, it went really smooth and nice. Because of the clowning around by Sim earlier on. We still have, we all have some troops. Decimated a lot, but that's what makes it nice, because that's where the randomness comes in. It can be really annoying, but it can be really nice as well. And at this point you can say we haven't lost or gained anything. Troops by all players just got way smaller. But luckily for us, Sim managed to hold on to his X-bows. He didn't lost the big group he had. He lost some, but still he has, what is it, 25, 28 crossbows left. Nice spam from Black Pearl, I must say. This nice leather spam by both guys. In a really long game, probably own it. But then again, you can see here this crossbowing by Sim in action. If you manage to hold on to your crossbows, like Sim did, like 15 minutes after peacetime, the bulk of the enemy iron units is gone, like lots of swordsmen, lots of knights. You still have this nice group of X-bows. You can see they destroy most of enemy troops. Of course they need some support, but they are so powerful.
Into the battle!
Yeah, here he needed to retreat as well. And I remember this game was a little bit laggy. I could not move the micro troops really well. Sim used this time to, when Black Pearl could not help him, to do a final push on Abyab's base. Which was successful, as you can see. And I sent militia from this side, To my surprise, he didn't have a single tower up in this area. Yeah, but still, what can he do? He takes this position again. Can go through here, but I think it's no point really. Yeah, let's take a look at the bases, how they're going with food and everything. Coal is, yeah, he still has not coal. But hey, see, this iron is almost depleted. I will think it will last for another 5 minutes, maybe 10, but that's about it. He needs to go for trading then, all its iron. Has 2 bakeries on nearly 70 serfs, still has all those buildings. So I think he will need to trade for food sometimes, but he hasn't traded anything so far. Maybe he did lose some serfs already. You can see it's not running that efficient anymore. Luckily this this guy is getting some food. For me, because of the 3 piggies I had up pretty early in the game, my inn looks nice. And usually I don't see many people do it, maybe I'm the only one, but if I know I have enough serfs and they're just standing around because you're not building that much anymore and they do nothing, just let them trade for fish. Stone for fish is the best trade if you will go for food, in my opinion, so I'll just let them do that. And I have 2 vineyards, of course, so food here is no problem. Yeah, we are pushing with 2 guys on his base. He is alone and a little bit hiding in between towers, but not really that much he can do at the moment. Yeah, this guy's not even rebuilding. Yeah, the main of his coal he gets from this coal field here is probably the best thing you can do. It always works more efficient than if you go for the coal all the way here. Because it takes the serfs longer to walk with the coal to your iron weapon buildings. So yeah, usually most players place them in this area. Let's end this. Look at his stats. You can see that Chevalier has had by far the most units. I did pretty good as well, but he had so many militias that he had 258 units in 1 minute 22. 1 hour 22 minutes, which is really, really good. Really a lot of troops. For me it's almost exceptionally good, but for Seam it's really good. But he had easy spam, of course. X-Bow, Spikeman and Mills are probably the easiest to spam. Black Pearl, nice kills. Also some tower kills with it. But it means that he helped out his teammates pretty good. Because that's all he did really in this game. Nice peacetime army. More than 100 units. And we will see some big differences here probably. Food is kinda close. Surprises me. 3 stones. It's all pretty close. Here you can see some difference in iron ore. And Black Pearl and also 4 iron mines. Went really nice for him. Gold, of course, seen as most gold because of all the recruits. Most coal was expected. I was the only one doing some wine, and here you can see big differences. That Siem had only a little more over 100 corn. And Apyap went really crazy with his farms. He had more than 400, so you can say 4 more the times than Siem had. And those guys all had leather. I had leather, of course, as well, but they had more leather because they did go for more farms. And they both also go for X-Fighters, which, you know, in my opinion, they are kind of weak, but still people are making them. Lots of X's. Yeah, horses. That will end this shoutcast. I hope you enjoyed this game because we enjoyed playing this. And I'd like to see you next time.